Apple just changed how it launches iPhones. And not in a small way. The iPhone 18 Pro Max is coming September 2026. And for the first time in iPhone history, there is no standard iPhone alongside it, just the Pro Max, and a foldable. So if you are waiting for a normal iPhone this fall, you are waiting until 2027. Now, the headline specs are real. The A20 chip on a 2 nanometer process, variable aperture cameras, a 24 megapixel front camera, a dynamic island that is finally getting smaller. But here's the thing, there is one rumored upgrade on this phone that almost nobody is talking about, and it is the one that could completely change how you use it every single day. We will get there, but first, let me give you the full picture. Here's where we are right now. The iPhone 18 Pro Max has not been officially announced. Everything we know comes from supply chain reports, industry leaks, and pattern-based expectations. But the leaks this cycle are unusually consistent. Production reportedly started in late 2025. By February 2026, Apple had moved into production testing, which means this phone is on schedule. I am going to break down every major upgrade, what is confirmed, what is likely, and what is still was. And somewhere in the middle of this, I'm going to tell you the one feature that I think matters more than any spec sheet number. Let us start with the thing that changes everything about this launch. Apple is deviating from its standard launch process. Instead of 4 new iPhones in September, the lineup is split across fall 2026 and spring 2027. The Pro and Pro Max still arrive in September, but the standard iPhone 18 does not. Think about what that actually means. We are getting Apple's 3 most expensive iPhones in the fall: the iPhone 18 Pro, the iPhone 18 Pro Max, and the iPhone Fold, which could be upwards of $2,000. So Apple's fall 2026 event is basically a luxury showcase. No entry-level Lifeline, no, but you could just get the regular one. Your options are expensive, more expensive, or folded in half expensive. And somehow, I respect it. The staggered approach lets Apple focus more attention on its premium Pro and foldable handsets during the holiday season. Smart business, annoying for consumers. Classic Apple. Okay, the A20 Pro chip, it is built on TSMC's 2 nanometer process. This is Apple's first 2 nanometer mobile chip ever. Now, every year, some version of new chip, more performance, gets thrown around. And yeah, of course, it is faster. That is not the interesting part. The interesting part is efficiency. The smaller node size produces less heat, which matters during sustained workloads. The chip may also integrate RAM directly onto the same wafer as the CPU, GPU, and neural engine, a packaging approach that improves speed and lowers power draw simultaneously. So you get a phone that runs faster and runs cooler and runs longer. That is not incremental. That is the whole point of going to 2 nanometers. The neural engine is also more powerful, designed specifically for on-device AI with Apple Intelligence features. And here's where it gets interesting. Reports indicate Apple may allow users to download extensions to Siri, integrations with ChatGPT, Gemini, or Claude, with a dedicated section in the App Store. Your phone, your AI, your choice of brain behind it. That is either exciting or terrifying depending on how you feel about handing Siri a Claude subscription. Here's the one. This is the upgrade I mentioned at the top that almost nobody is talking about. The iPhone 18 Pro and Pro Max are expected to feature new LTPO Plus display technology. Stay with me, because this sounds like a spec sheet line, and it is actually not. LTPO Plus allows for granular control over the current sent to the OLED panel to emit light, meaning the display runs optimally with the environment and is more energy efficient. Translation: your display is smart enough to adjust brightness and refresh rate in real time, at a granular level without you doing anything. It is not just auto brightness. It is the display actively managing its own power consumption moment to moment. The result? Better battery life, better outdoor visibility, and reports suggest a massive jump in peak brightness from the current 1600 nits. That is the upgrade that changes your daily experience, not the chip benchmark. This cameras. Apple intends to equip the iPhone 18 Pro models with a variable aperture lens, specifically the main rear 48 megapixel fusion camera on both Pro models will offer variable aperture, a first for the iPhone. Here is why this matters in plain English. Right now, your iPhone camera has one aperture fixed. It decides how much light comes in, and you have zero control over it. The software does everything else. Variable aperture means you can actually control that. More light in dim environments, less light in harsh sun, real depth of field control, not just computational blur that looks like depth of field. It is the difference between a phone that simulates a camera and a phone that is a camera. The front-facing camera may also get an upgrade, moving from 18 megapixels on the iPhone 17 to 24 megapixels. So your selfies and your video calls are getting meaningfully better too. Not a bad year for cameras. The C2 modem, Apple's in-house second generation custom 5G chip. It should deliver better network stability, stronger signals, faster speeds, and reduce battery drain on 5G. The C2 could feature millimeter wave 5G connectivity. It will also support a privacy-focused limit-precise location setting, meaning carriers will not be able to pinpoint your exact address, just your general neighborhood. That second part, quietly one of the most significant privacy features Apple has shipped in years. And then there is the satellite situation. As of April 2026, Apple appears to be teaming up with Amazon. Amazon announced it acquired Globalstar, the provider of iPhone satellite connectivity. So iPhones and Apple Watches will now fall under Amazon's Leo satellite network. If Apple meets the 2026 target, the iPhone 18 Pro Max could be among the first devices to feature full 5G satellite internet, 5G from space, on a phone you keep in your pocket. I do not have a joke for that. It is just genuinely wild. Design, honest answer, not much is changing on the outside. The iPhone 18 Pro lineup will largely retain the same design as the iPhone 17 Pro models. The same raised camera plateau, 3 lenses in a triangle arrangement. The Pro Max retains its 6.9-inch screen, but the dynamic island is getting noticeably smaller. Face ID components are moving partially under the display per Bloomberg's Mark Gurman in February 2026. Full under-display Face ID has been pushed to a future generation, but the result is still a cleaner, more screen-forward look. More screen, less pill, progress, colors. Apple is introducing a new color called Dark Cherry for the iPhone 18 Pro, a deep wine-like red shade that replaces the cosmic orange from the iPhone 17 Pro. Dark Cherry alongside light blue, dark gray, and silver. And if a Chinese leaker is right, there is no black option again this year. Second consecutive year, Apple has dropped what was arguably its most classic Pro color. I have opinions about that. The comment section is right there. Price. Rumors claim Apple may keep pricing steady for the starting 256 gigabyte storage option on both models. A research note by analyst Jeff Pugh suggests Apple may go with an aggressive pricing strategy for the Pro models. Aggressive could mean competitive, or it could mean Apple's definition of aggressive, which is historically just not raising the price. Either way, here is the honest breakdown. For users coming from iPhone 16 Pro Max or newer, the upgrade is modest. For anyone on iPhone 14 Pro Max or older, the cumulative improvements in camera, battery, and chip performance make it a compelling and significant upgrade. That is the real answer, and you deserve the real answer. So where does the iPhone 18 Pro Max actually land? If you are upgrading from an iPhone 14 Pro Max or older, this is a compelling jump. The A20 chip on 2 nanometers, the LTPO Plus display, the variable aperture camera, the C2 modem. These are not marketing bullet points. They are genuine generational leaps. If you are on an iPhone 16 Pro Max, wait, the 17 was already excellent. The 18 does not fundamentally change your life. If you are on a 17 Pro Max, have you considered going outside? The one thing I will leave you with, every year there is a conversation about whether the iPhone is worth it. And every year, the real question is not the phone, it is whether your specific situation justifies the upgrade. September 2026 is the window, and the Pro Max may be accompanied by Apple's first foldable iPhone, which means the real choice this fall might not be which iPhone. It might be phone or foldable, and that is the video I am making next.